we've travelled through Holy Week. So we started with Palm Sunday, Maundy Thursday. So we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, and now we're going to do a craft to think about what happened not on Saturday but on Sunday. Now, after Jesus died, his friends put his body in a tomb and they rolled a stone in front of the door. And they were really sad. But, do you know, that's not the end of the story, because there's another space here. So although they were very sad, when they went back on Sunday, they found that the stone had been rolled away. And I've got a big sign that says, "He is risen," because Jesus wasn't there anymore, because Jesus wasn't dead anymore. And that isn't something that happens to normal people, because when someone dies, they stay dead. But Jesus wasn't like normal people, because Jesus was God's son. And so when he died, he didn't stay dead. He came back to life. And that's why Christians get so excited about Holy Week and about Easter. I've got our special wooden figure of Jesus as well, to say that he's not in the tomb, he's alive, and we can be friends with him. And our last craft is thinking about the Easter garden, thinking about this whole story. And we've got two crafts. We've got a craft if you have got a garden outside and you can easily get some soil and some things to grow, or if, like me, your garden hasn't really got a lot of things in it at the moment, and so I've got a no soil garden as well. Let's move this out of the way. So we've got some space. Let me pop this down as well. And we'll get all the things we need. Ready? Right, here we are. Now, you need a container to put your no soil Easter garden in. I've got a takeaway container. And I'm using some Play-Doh. Oh, that's what's inside. Here, I've got some homemade Play-Doh. But you might have a tub of Play-Doh, so you could use that. And we're going to put some of that Play-Doh in this tray. Ready? Here we go. Now, I've made like a cave inside with my Play-Doh. So, if you've got more Play-Doh, you could put more in here. But that just about filled mine. Now, I'm going to pop the Play-Doh off the table so we've got a bit of room. Ready? Okay, so we've got our tomb and we need a big rock to put in front. I've got a pebble that I found in our garden. I'm going to pop that there. Now, what else do we need? I think we might need a path through the garden. Now, you might have some pebbles. I found a few pebbles, little teeny tiny pebbles. I'm going to use some of those that aren't too dirty for my path. But I've also got this, which isn't a Crawford's tartan shortbread tin. This is, I wonder if you can see, my granny's button tin. Oh, I love button tins. Now, I've got all sorts of different sorts of buttons. So I'm going to put some buttons in here as well. Ready? There we go. Can you see? I've got a button path. Now, obviously, if you've got little children, don't use teeny tiny buttons that they could swallow. You choose something that is a bit more sensible for their size, or don't use any, and you could just put your finger in and make a path. Now, I would have used hammer beads or pony beads, but I haven't got any of those. That would be really pretty though, or some of those like sparkly gems. That would be rather lovely. Now, what else do we need? I think, as it's a garden, we need some flowers too. Now, I've got some of these. Can you see? They are birthday candle holders, and they look a little bit like flowers. So I'm going to pop some of them in our garden too. Ready? Now, that is looking very pretty indeed. Can you see? I've got some flowers. Oh, my arms aren't quite long enough. I've got some flowers and I've got my pebbly path. Now, we need to have something to remind us that Jesus had died. So, I think we need some crosses. Now, there were 3 crosses because there was the cross that Jesus was died and on one on either side. So I'm going to put my cross that I've made out of a pipe cleaner. Got 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to show you how to make a pipe cleaner cross. Let's move that over here a minute. Now you need 1 pipe cleaner and you need to fold it in half, and then about that far down, what's that, about 1/3 of the way down, you need to twist it. You need to take one of the arms, fold it a little way across, see, like that. Let me twist it there so you can see, and then you need to fold this long arm in half and then twist it across. There we go. Now I've got a very long piece here. I'm going to fold it in half and twist it up. There we go, and I've got a cross. Now you might not have any pipe cleaners, but I've made some twiggy crosses as well, and they're very simple. You just need to wind around some string or some wool to fasten them together, and then you need 3 of those and you can put them in your garden too. Now let's look back at our Easter garden. Now, if it was Good Friday, we'd have this stone in front of the tomb, but this part of the story we're remembering is Easter Sunday, so we're going to roll the stone away from the tomb because it's empty inside, because Jesus isn't there anymore, because he's alive. Hooray! Now I'm going to pop that down. Now I'm going to show you how to make an Easter garden if you've got some soil and some things to grow. Now my Easter garden is going to look a little bit brown because I don't have any plants to plant in it. I do have some seeds, so I know it will grow in the future, but you might have something you can plant in it. Now what we need to start off with is an empty container. This is a takeaway container, and we need a yogurt pot or something that you could put inside, like a cup, like a plastic cup. That doesn't matter. Don't just use your good cup, otherwise I'll get in trouble. And I'll show you how to make an Easter garden. Ready? Now, here we've got our garden. It's got some soil in it, it's got a big rock, and it's got a pot that's pretending to be our tomb. Now, what we need is to make a garden. We need a path to get to the tomb. I've got some pebbles that I got from the garden, so I'm going to put those in here. Ready? Okay, now I've put my path with pebbles here, And if I had a plant, I could plant it here. Or if I had a daisy, I could put some of those in. But I haven't got any of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of my grass seed and sprinkle that on the top. You might have some cress seeds, or you might have some moss in your garden, or you might have some apple seeds that you could plant in there and see them starting to grow. Now we also need some crosses. Now we've got our pipe cleaner crosses that we made earlier on, or we've got our twiggy crosses. I think I'm going to use those. I'm going to pop them in. So I've got 1, 2, 3. If I had a bigger container, I could have them behind, but it's a little bit small for that. Now, what else do I need to remember to do? I think I need to remember to give it some water so that it can start to grow. Now, let's have a look at both of our gardens together. Ready? And here we are. We've got our 2 Easter gardens. You know, yours might not look like mine. They might be bigger or smaller. They might be different colours. But I hope that you have enjoyed making them and learning a little bit more about the Easter story.